Right, hello. In this video I want to explain a little bit more about Pluto, the planet of transformation, having Pluto in a transit on your ascendant and what it can mean. It's just an example that I'm going to give you. I'm going to tell actually a little story, and it also has another message, but I'll go back to that in a minute. But it shows how important it is when we have Pluto on our ascendant, that it means that you can have a total transformation of your own identity and of your own personality. And let's tell the story. When I had Pluto on my ascendant, I didn't know that I had Pluto on my ascendant, of course, because I didn't know much about astrology. I was 27. I was around 27 and I had a problem. I had a skin problem. I had acne. And I mean, you can have acne when you're 14 or 15, but when you're 27, you're a bit worried. And it was not just one or two, it was really already spreading, you know. It started here around the chin. So what did I do? I went to see a doctor. I went to see a dermatologist. And I did. So many of them. The first one said, okay, you need antibiotics. I said, okay, I'll do that and I'll fix the problem. So I took the pills and it went away. I was content, I was satisfied. Okay, very easy. But of course, it came back. So I tried to see another doctor, another dermatologist, and he said the same thing. He said, you have to take antibiotics. And I said, I already did. He said, you have to take a bit antibiotics who are a bit stronger. I said, okay, I'll do that, no problem. Took the pills, it went away. Took a bit longer, but it went away. I was satisfied again. But of course it came back, and this went on and on and on, and it always came back worse. So it was all over the face. So I was a bit worried. And why was I worried? Because not only by looking into the mirror, but also by the reactions of other people. I really do know what it is when men are not opening the door anymore. People are not stopping when you're just trying to cross a street. Yes, it was really beginning to become. I felt very insecure about it, and I didn't know what to do. So I said to myself, I'm going to pick out the best doctor ever. I tried to be aligned with the cosmos, and I picked out one, the telephone book, and it was a very special doctor. I went into that waiting room and I saw a lot of people. So I thought, okay, like in a good restaurant where you see a lot of people, it's okay. So I thought, okay. And there were two very beautiful ladies sitting at the desk, and a blonde one and a brunette. And flawless skin. You have, like, when your skin is very bad like that, you like only see beautiful skins. And I entered the room and they pointed like this, like there, over there, and I compared myself with the other people, and the conclusion was painful. But I sensed this doctor already, and I sensed it was not a good feeling. And when I went in, it was this very huge, very tall man, and very dominant, and very, he was a master in what he was doing. That was obvious. I'm 5'9", and I felt like this. But he took my face like that. He took my face like that. I'm not exaggerating. He took my face like that, and he was watching my skin like this. He said, "You have a disease. You are ill. You have a disease." I said, "Yes, I know." He gave me a kind of pill that was, if you've got a level from 0 to 10, it's the top. It's 10. It's a kind of an acid. It's very with the that thing sign on it, on the pills. It's very not good for your body. But I said, give me the pills because I want to get rid of this face. I didn't understand what was going on actually. I just thought it's something at the outside, so clearly. And he gave me the pills and it went away. It took quite a long time to vanish. I don't know what it was called. It was acid vitamin A or something. I don't know, but it was. Ugh. And my face, it was like, I'm not exaggerating again, but it was like mayonnaise that was coming out of it. It was that awful. But it did went away. It went away completely. And again, I sensed okay, but there was a little voice inside of me that said, you're not gonna get away with it. You're not gonna get away with it. And I was right. It came back. And I'm not going to give the details. It came back. So I knew that I had to do something else. These doctors couldn't help me. I had to do something else. I didn't know what, but I had to dig into this problem without pills, because you know this is the title of this little video. Pills. What about pills? So one day, I don't know why, I entered a shop, a beauty shop, and there was this French lady who looked at me and who gave me very good advice. She said in French, she said, she looked a bit like Nana Mouskouri. She said, you have to do something on the inside too. It's the outside, I can give you products, but il faut savoir c'est qui dans le miroir. That means, she said, you have to know who's that in the mirror. Look in the mirror and work on yourself, the inside and the outside. And by the way, she gave me these products. Hang on a minute. After all these years, I still do use them. So you can imagine how awful it was. But these products of Payot, these are French products, and they really do work if you have severe acne like I had. But it's not only that. That helps on the outside. And you really need something to help on the outside, because, you know, it was like this, how do you call it, creme, or on your face it really was like water on the fire. So it helped. It was also sometimes rather painful. But she also stressed, and I tried to remember that sentence that she said, you have to work on the inside. And I was asking myself questions. What do I have difficulties with? Do I have difficulties with certain things? Yes, I had difficulties with certain things. So I had to work on that. So maybe this face is telling me something, but I don't understand it. And also, at the same time, you know, these encounters with people like that lady at that shop, it's so important. At the same time, I met an astrologer. He was reading books, and it was at work. He was reading during pause time. He was reading books of astrology. He was hiding a little bit, and I was curious. And he said to do my chart, and he did. And he was talking about stuff I didn't know about. I only had one book of astrology that my sister gave me when I was 15, and it was like Aries with Gemini, Aries with Taurus, and so on. That was my knowledge of astrology. And he said, well, there are some stuff going on. You have Pluto bang on your ascendant and Saturn bang on your moon. So these two, the combination, Pluto on the ascendant, it doesn't mean when you have Pluto on your ascendant that you will have the acne, of course. But I just want to show you an example that it is really on the outside a complete transformation. And it was a complete transformation, a sort of cleansing going on from my body, but also on the inside, a lot of stuff that wasn't working anymore for me, and I didn't want to see. I did just put my head into the sand. I didn't want to see what that had to be changed. And he showed me what the topics were, and he was very, very right. And so I started to dig deeper. Pluto wants us really to dig deep, and I started to work with Pluto instead of fighting against it, you know, taking these pills, and you can't run away from Pluto. You really can't. I experienced it on the inside and on the outside. It looked terrible, but that was also how I felt. He also recommended me a how do you call that? A homeopath. So I went to a homeopath, and he was also a doctor, you know, the classical doctor who did homeopathy. I don't know the word, but anyway. And he asked me questions like my how do you call that, constitution, how they do it with astrology too, traditional astrology. Are you warm? Are you cold? Are you dry? Are you hot? And so on. And he asked me an hour-long question. So he did take time for me. And instead of that other doctor, he hadn't got any interest in me as a whole, as a person. It was just the acne that he saw. He didn't saw anything underneath. So that doctor, that homeopath, he asked me so many questions, and I really had to be courageous to answer all of them. But he gave me one substance, and together with also other information, like I had to drink more water. I had to drink more water. I didn't drink enough. I had to do this and that, my diet, and so on. And these were all, I thought, oh my goodness, these are very easy things to do, but I better do them. You know, I was a bit, I'm not going to say hopeless, but I wanted to get rid of all that. It wasn't easy to live like that, and to see yourself in a mirror every day. I couldn't escape from it. And as you see, after all these years, but I think it was after maybe 1 year, so it took me quite some time. A transit of Pluto takes quite some time. It takes maybe 2 years, but it took me 1 year to slowly but surely get rid of the acne. As you can see, you know, now I'm just having a bit of makeup on, but I have no acne anymore, thanks to all these things that I did myself. I had to take responsibility, and I had to do my own digging and my own exploring and my own understanding of what was going on. And it doesn't matter on a personal level what it was, it doesn't matter, but it's a story about what to do when you have a certain disease, whether it is acne, whether it is cancer, whether it is a stupid flu or a cold. It means something. It means that something is going on with you. It means that you have to pause, that you have to stop, and that you have to adjust yourself, that you have to change things. And it can take time, but you have to take the time. And of course, you have to be a bit lucky to attract a doctor like I did, you know, the terrible doctor with the very dominant voice and so on, and you know, doing this thing. But I needed that. I needed a doctor like that in order to see that this wasn't a solution. So I hope this little story makes it more clear what it is to, you know, the pill industry and diseases and so on. We really should try to take our time. It's so easy to here is a pill and problem solved. It is so easy, but I don't think it is the way. I'm not saying that you don't have to take any pills for any disease. I'm just saying you have to explore different routes. You have to explore, you have to work on different levels, on the inside, on the outside, on the psychological side, and so on. And if you do it in a spiritual way, and if you do it if you want to connect with God, or with the cosmos, or with Allah, or however you call him or her, if you want to have this, if you do this connection, if you try to connect, this will work on all the other levels, on a physical level, you know, the physical level, like using these, and it will work better and stronger, and you get more powerful, because Pluto tries to give us power, and you will get your power back. Thank you for listening to this video, I hope it is useful, and give me some comments. What do you think about it? If you have acne, what are you doing? What are you using? How are you exploring with all this? If you have Pluto on your ascendant, how are you doing? Let me know. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.